Amos chapter 6, at ease in Zion. Oi, you who are at ease in Zion, trusting in Samaria's hill, distinguished ones of the foremost of nations, to whom the house of Israel comes, go over to Calneh and look. From there go to Hamath, go down to Gath of the Philistines. Are you better than these kingdoms, or is their territory larger than yours? Dismissing the day of calamity, you bring near the throne of violence, reclining on beds of ivory, sprawling on their couches, dining on lambs from the flock, and calves from amid the stall, chanting to the sound of a harp like David, inventing their own instruments of song, drinking wine from bowls, anointed with choice ointments. Yet they are not sickened over the breakdown of Joseph, but therefore now they will go into exile at the head of the exiles, sprawling revelry seas. My Lord Adonai has sworn by himself, declares Adonai Elohim. I loathe the arrogance of Jacob. I despise his palaces, so I will shut down the city and everything in it. If 10 people remain in one house, they will die. One's beloved, the one burning incense for him, will lift him up to carry the bones out of the house, and he will say to the one in the innermost recess of the house, "Is anyone else still with you?" And he will say, "No one." Then he will say, "Hush, for we must not mention the name of Adonai. For behold, Adonai will command. He will smash the big house to fragments, and the little house to splinters. Will horses run on the cliff? Will one plow there with oxen? Yet you are turned justice into venom, the fruit of righteousness into wormwood. You are rejoicing for no reason, saying, "Haven't we taken 2 horns for ourselves by our own strength?" For behold, I am raising up against you, O house of Israel, nation, and they will afflict you from Lebo Hamath to the valley of Arabah, declares Adonai, the God of hosts. Amos chapter 7, locusts and the trial by fire. This is what my Lord Adonai has shown me. Behold, he was forming locusts at the beginning of the spring crop, after the cutting of the king's hay. When the locust swarm had finished devouring the vegetation of the land, I said, Adonai Elohim, please pardon. How can Jacob stand, for he is small? Adonai relented concerning this. It shall not be, Adonai said. This is what my Lord Adonai has shown me. Behold, Adonai Elohim was called for the trial by fire, and it would have devoured the great deep, and it would have devoured the territory. But I said, my Lord Adonai, stop, please. How can Jacob stand, for he is small? Adonai relented concerning this. This also shall not happen, says my Lord Adonai. A plumb line on a wall. This is what he has revealed to me. Behold, my Lord was standing by a vertical wall, and in his hand was a plumb line. Then Adonai said to me, What do you see, Amos? I said, A plumb line. Then my Lord said, Behold, I am setting a plumb line among my people Israel. I will no longer pass over them. So the high places of Isaac will become desolate. The sanctuaries of Israel will be laid waste. And I will rise up against the house of Jeroboam with a sword. With Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent word to King Jeroboam of Israel, saying, Amos has been conspiring against you in the midst of the house of Israel. The land cannot endure all his words, for this is what Amos has said, Jeroboam will die by the sword, and Israel will surely go captive from his land. Then Amaziah said to Amos, Seer, go away, flee back to the land of Judah, eat bread there and prophesy there. But at Bethel you are not to prophesy any more, for it is a royal sanctuary and a house of the kingdom. So Amos responded and said, Amaziah, I am no prophet, nor am I a son of a prophet. Rather, I am a shepherd tending fig trees. But Adonai took me from following the flock, and Adonai said to me, Go prophesy to my people Israel. So now hear the words of Adonai. You are saying, Do not prophesy against Israel, and do not preach against the house of Isaac. Therefore, this is what Adonai says, Your wife shall become a prostitute in the city. Your sons and your daughters will fall by the sword, and your land divided up by a measuring line. Now as for you, you will die in an unclean land, and Israel will surely be led away captive out of its land. A basket of summer fruit. This is what the Lord Adonai has shown me. See, there was a basket of summer fruit. He said, Amos, what do you see? A basket of summer fruit, I said. Then Adonai said to me, The end has come to my people Israel. I will not again pass over them. The song of the palace will become howls in that day. It is a declaration of my Lord Adonai. So many corpses slung everywhere. Hush. Hear this, you who trample the poor, destroying the afflicted of the land, saying, When will the new moon be over, so we may sell grain, or Shabbat, so we may open the whole wheat market? Let's reduce the ephah measure and increase the shekel, cheat with deceitful balances, buy the poor for silver, the needy for a pair of sandals, will even sell the refuse of grain. Adonai swore by the pride of Jacob, Never will I forget all their deeds. Will not the land tremble over this? Will not all who dwell in it mourn? Yes, it will rise up like all the Nile. It will surge and sink again like the Nile of Egypt. It will be in that day, declares my Lord Adonai. I will make the sun go down at noon. Yes, I will darken the earth in daylight. I will turn your festivals into mourning and all your songs into a dirge. I will pull up a sackcloth on every waist and baldness on every head. I will make it like the morning for an only son, its end a bitter day. Behold, days are coming, declares the Lord, my Lord Adonai, when I will send a famine on the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Adonai. So people will wander from sea to sea and roam from north to east, searching for the word of Adonai, but they will not find it. In that day, the fair virgins and the virile young men will faint from thirst. Those swearing by Samaria's guilt will say, as your gods live, Dan, or as the way of Beersheba lives, but they will fall, never to rise again. Amos chapter 9, no escaping his eyes. I saw my Lord standing by the altar, and he said, strike the tops of the pillars so the porches shake. Break all of them off at the head, and the last of them I will slay with the sword. None of them fleeing will escape, and no fugitive will slip away. If they should dig down to Sheol, from there my hand will take them. If they should go up to heaven, from there I will bring them down. If they should hide themselves at the top of Carmel, I will search them out and take them from there. If they hide themselves from my eyes at the bottom of the sea, from there I will command the sea serpent to bite them. If they should go into captivity before their enemies, from there I will command the sword to slay them. I will set my eyes upon them for calamity and not for prosperity. My Lord is Adonai Zavat. It is he who touches the land so it melts, and all its inhabitants will mourn. Then it will surge like all the Nile and sink like all the Nile of Egypt. He who built his upper stories in heaven fitted its vaults over the earth. He who summons the waters of the sea and pours them out on the face of the earth. Adonai is his name. Are you not like the children of the Cushites to me, B'nai Israel? Is it the declaration of Adonai? Did I not bring Israel up from the land of Egypt, the Philistines from Caphtor, and Aram from Kir? Behold, the eyes of my Lord Adonai are on the sinful kingdom, so I will utterly destroy it from the face of the earth. Nevertheless, I will not annihilate the house of Jacob. It is a declaration of Adonai. For behold, I have commanded, and I will shake the house of Israel among all the nations. Like grain being tossed in a sieve, without pebble falling to the ground, by the sword shall all the sinners of my people die. Those who say the calamity will not overtake or confront us. David's sukkah restored. In that day I will raise up David's fallen sukkah. I will restore its breaches, raise up its ruins, and rebuild it as the days of old, so they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations called by my name. It is a declaration of Adonai, the one who will do this. Behold, days are soon coming. It is a declaration of Adonai, when the plowman will overtake the reaper, and the one treading grapes, the one sowing seed. The mountains will drip sweet wine, and all the hills will melt over. Yes, I will restore the captivity of my people Israel. They will rebuild desolate cities and dwell in them. They will plant vineyards and drink their wine. They will also make gardens and eat their fruit. Yes, I will plant them on their land, but they will never again be plucked up out of their land that I have given to them. Adonai your God has said it.